Climate Change 2. Make a note. Learning goal. Students are able to consolidate information for more effective reading.
The students have a group discussion and decide to consolidate the data and notes they have collected on causes of climate change in order to determine a probable solution.
What is the main cause of climate change? Global warming.
What causes global warming? Excessive amount of carbon dioxide being released into the atmosphere. The mixture of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases traps the heat of the Earth that would have escaped or eased out by natural coldness.
On one hand, the heat of Earth cannot be released. On the other hand, human being is producing more carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into atmosphere.
What are other greenhouse gases we release into the atmosphere? Based on the overview of greenhouse gas emissions in 2018 report, 81% of the greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide.
10% of the greenhouse gas is methane. 7% of the greenhouse gas is nitrous oxide. 3% of the greenhouse gas is fluorinated gases.
Where do fluorinated gases come from? Most fluorinated gases are synthetic. They are made by humans from a variety of industrial processes.
A big part is produced in industrial purposes, such as the production of aluminum to make tin foil and semiconductors, the processing of magnesium to make semiconductors, the production of tracer gas for leak detection.
The majority used to be from the production of refrigerants for cooling refrigerators and air conditioners. The other is used for transmission and distribution of electricity.
Where does nitrous oxide come from? Globally, about 40% of total nitrous oxide comes from human activities. Agricultural fertilizer and soil treatment emit a great amount of nitrous oxide.
Fuel burning for transportation. Industries for producing plastic, nylon, or wastewater treatment. Nitrous oxide emits naturally through natural circulation of nitrogen cycle.
Where does methane come from? Worldwide, about 50 to 65% of methane emissions come from human activities regarding energy, industry, agriculture, and waste management. Natural gas and petroleum that our vehicles run on is the second largest source of methane emission.
Livestock farming, such as keeping cows, cattle, swine, sheep, and goats, produce a great amount of methane through their digestive process. Beside farts from farm animals, their manure releases methane into atmosphere.
Landfills and various waste treatment for human beings produces a great amount of methane.
Where does carbon dioxide come from? 34% of CO2 emission comes from transportation. 32% of CO2 emission comes from electricity.
15% of CO2 emission comes from industry. 11% of CO2 emission comes from residential and commercial. 7% of CO2 emission comes from non-fossil fuel burning.
It is more than obvious that human activities are the direct result in global warming, which causes climate change.